Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Wandering Wellspring. This is the tarot for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Mars, or Venus for the month of March. Now, I do this a little bit differently than others you may have seen. Before I do these videos, I go ahead and meditate on the energy of your sign and get visions. And then in this video, I'll be telling you the vision I got, and interpreting it a little bit in regards to what you may be encountering or just in general what you might need to be focusing on for the month of March. From there, I'll pull oracle cards and tarot cards as guided, and we'll dig into those. This is a general reading, so it's for the collective, so it may or may not resonate for everybody. But as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear, how this fits for you. And yeah, and especially during this time, you know, human contact is really huge. You know, we've been limited for so long. So yeah, commenting is a really great way to help the YouTube algorithm along with, you know, liking and subscribing. Also, if you like decks you see here, I will be trying to say it in the video, but sometimes I forget. Either way, I'll go ahead and put it in the description below. That way you'll be able to see it in there. So yeah, let's get started. Hey Aries, this is your reading for March. So when I started this reading, or not when I started, but in my meditation time before this reading, I asked for a message for you guys for March, what you guys need to hear. And what I got was, it's not like freezing cold, like deadly, even though the person might think it is. But this idea of like, I don't know, I just see this girl and she got in the water and it's like really cold. And she's in a swimsuit, so it's not like she's like not expecting to be in the water. She's in a swimsuit and she's like flinging her hands like this because it's so cold. And it like, she just, I don't know how to explain, but like her face, like you tell she's freezing. And then she goes and she's like trying to run out of the water. And as she's like trying to get out of the water, like it's almost like the water starts moving itself to her. And then she just kind of like skips. And so it's like, it's almost like she's walking on water, but she's like skipping because she's like so freezing and she's just trying to get out. You know, so it's like, it's almost like in a video game or something, like the timing is perfect when it hits. It's just like, you know, like that. I don't know how to explain it. And then I asked what the water was, and I got a record, like in a record player, and it's spinning, and it's kind of, again, it's the one that's moving. Like, it's technically, she might think she's running out, but really she's like barely moving, and everything's moving so quickly that she's like traveling this huge distance, you know, because it's going so fast. But yeah, so the water is like this record player or record, and it's moving itself. So it's the idea that every time you touch, it's almost like it makes music, you know, kind of like the record player. Or it's like that moment that you get that contact that, okay, I made it that step, and I made it this step, and I made it this step. Almost like in a video game too, even like when you jump from thing to thing because you know, caught it correctly. And I suck at video games. So when I'm saying this, like for me, it's so exciting. For other people, maybe they don't know what I'm talking about, but it like perfect timing, and you know, you go. And in that though, it's like that exhilaration that when you have made contact, yet you're standing, so you're both touching the thing that you're supposed to be able to sink in, yet you're also standing on it. So it's like that moment of like where in your mind you're feeling like you're defying gravity, you know, you're defying physics. That moment is like music, you know, it's like the record player touches and it makes music. But it's like this, so it doesn't fully always make music, but it's just in your life, it's like there's moments that it's making music, and each of those times you're standing. So that was what I got for you, Aries, as far as a vision for March. So we can see, let's see, which deck. It's between these two, I was feeling. Yeah, I guess it's this one. Yeah, okay. I used this one earlier too for, I forget who it was, but which sign. And usually I like to use mini versions of decks because I have small hands, but this is a regular version. So, messages for Aries for March. Universe, God, Spirit. Messages do you have, or message do you have for Aries in relation to the vision, in relation to whatever they need to hear? Do you have for Aries for the month of March 2021? Month of March. Messages for Aries for the month of March. Messages for Aries for the month of March. Oh. Messages for Aries. Okay, let's go have that, I think. Okay, well, let's go with that. I think that's upside down here. Oh, here. Let's put this back in. There we go. Wow, well, this, I mean, kind of embodies the vision for sure. Because it's like in that moment that you're touching, you're in this place of happiness, of like, okay, I can do this. And even when in the record player, it's making music, it's like you can hear the song. Otherwise, you can't hear. It's just a disc that spins. The world just spins. Everything spins. And that moment you make contact and you get that perfect moment when everything's working and everything is in sync and it just seems magical. Then, you know, you have that happiness, that joy. And it's obviously, you know, taking action. But what it takes is trust in order to take the action. You know, you have to trust, because she can be going like this, but if she didn't believe that she could get out in the water, then she wouldn't even be doing this. She'd just be having the water coming at her and she'd be like freaking out and drowning. So it's a matter of trusting. I mean, even in this card, I'm not sure what I'm looking at in this card, honestly. Like, it's a boat, but it almost looks like it's like covered up by water. But I think I'm seeing this wrong, so I'm not really sure what I'm seeing. I mean, it could be a matter of trusting that it's on land, like trusting that it's there, even though it looks like it's sinking, kind of like, just like she thinks she's sinking or she's drowning or she's freezing, but she's trusting that she can just go. And you can take this action. And all these are all water. It's so funny with the vision. Like, I mean, a lot of the different visions I've been getting have been really water related, but these are like right in line with the vision. It's like the harmony that the dolphins feel, like it's instinct for them to be able to go in and out of the water the way they do. And they'll swim in the water. But for us, walking on water isn't instinct. But if we trust, it's those moments that keep us going, of when we were able to trust and when we made contact and, you know, playing the video game and had the perfect timing. And it's those moments that keep us going, that help us remember and think about how sometimes everything falls into place. So we're not on the wrong path, and just need to keep trusting on that. And then we can have the energy to bring in new beginnings. I got this card earlier for a different reading, and it's like, in this card I see like both fire and water in the sky. So it's like you're seeing different elements than only what goes in that sky normally. So it's like you normally can't walk on water, you can't run on water. But in this, it's like, it's telling you, you'll be able to defy what looks like is coming at you, looks like is the physical reality, rules, the way things operate. You can defy that as long as you trust. You keep your joy, you keep that as you're remembering to give you hope to keep going, and you take action. You don't want to just wait around, because like I said, if she just waited around, that water would come at her. And so then she would, think she was either drowning or, freezing too. So. And there's something to that too. It's like she was really cold. She was really cold. And it wasn't like it was ice water or something, but she was really cold, and like it wasn't enough to kill her, but she was overwhelmed by it. Yet through that, she pushed through, believing that that wasn't where she had to stay and that wasn't her spot. And because she did that, she was able to move forward, and she was able to, and even when she did that, I didn't say that, when she did that, she got to shore. So I mean, like, she was able to do that, to go to safety based off of trusting and believing and keeping on taking action, keeping on moving, as she was seeing as was instinctual for her, because it's instinctual for them to do that, but it's instinctual for her to think, oh my God, it's freezing, I need to get out of this. So while she might not believe normally in her conscious mind that she can walk on water or run on water, that's what happened when she was able to follow her instincts, and she kept her hope that she could get out. So let's see. I believe we're getting into a deck. I've been opening new decks all day, so I believe we're getting... Shoot. Okay, I want to open that deck, but I feel like I'm actually supposed to pull... Maybe I'm just supposed to pull one card. I'm going to pull one card. Like, I'm actually going to pull the card. From the, again, mini version, not the actual regular version, of the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards. I just have a really big feeling I'm supposed to pull a card in this, so we are going to go through that and do that. Do it that way. messages that your spirit to have for Aries for the month of March. Aries for the month of March. Especially in relation to the cards already pulled, the vision, whatever it is, Spirit, that you want to show Aries for the month of March. All day today I've been forgetting to cut deck, but I do the overhand shuffling anyway, so it's whatever. But oh wait, I wasn't gonna do that this time. I was actually gonna pull a card, so let's just pull whatever was on top. Okay, so for the month of March. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Says selflessness, humility, conscious action. Which is funny because with that, well, there's still a card inside here. Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't like that didn't get in the shuffling. Weird. Well, we didn't pull it and it didn't get in the shuffling, so I'll just figure it's for a reason. But it's funny because, yeah, it's a matter of the conscious action is huge because it's a matter of keeping on moving, keeping on going. But also in order to have that happiness, that joy, there is an element of selflessness and humility that comes from vibrating at your or at a higher vibration, you know, not allowing the petty things to get to you, not allowing yourself to be pulled down by things that could normally keep others in fear, make other people lose their faith and their trust. Because she could have thought, okay, well, I'm gonna die, so whatever, I guess that's what's for me, because she felt like she was gonna die, I guess. Or actually, I mean, yeah, because the water was also coming at her, so she would have drowned. But she came to a place where the purpose and her vision for her life and her vision for life in general and her respect for life, to know that she wasn't gonna die like that wasn't what she was made for. She came to a place of selflessness and humility. I mean, I know it's kind of a stretch, but it actually does work in there, because there is an element of treating ourselves correctly, treating ourselves lovingly, and coming to a place of selflessness and humility through learning that we don't just treat other people well, but even ourselves. Like, as we treat ourselves badly, we show other people that that's okay. And in turn, it creates this whole cycle that makes us feel like we're the victim of other people, and brings bitterness, or causes us, or in that cycle leads to us being bitter towards other people. So ultimately, it really is, there is an element of selflessness, humility, and conscious action to choose love. I think it's funny how, like, the light behind his head is almost as bright, or is brighter than the flower. It's like in another reading I got the other day, it's like flowers are natural, but like if this is his gift, it's, you know, his, what he's radiating is even brighter than that. But he's radiating that partially because he's offering this, he's giving this. It's like, it's being joyful in your giving. It's not giving and being in that heart of, oh, you made me do it, or I guess I'll do this for you. You know, because that's not kind and that's not loving. It's not about duty in that sense. It's bigger than that. Okay, so now I believe it is time. Yeah, okay. Now we can pull out the tarot cards. It's the Chrysalis Tarot. I don't know how to pronounce it though, if it's Chrysalis or Chrysalis or Chrysalis. I don't know. I have to say Chrysalis, but maybe I'm wrong. This deck is gorgeous. For Aries, based off of visions and messages given so far, received so far. Spirit God, any messages for Aries? I'm actually going to do that. So. I'm going to do underhand or overhand shuffling too. Wow, okay. I'm not looking at them. Well, I kind of am in the screen, but not in real life. Not enough to where I can tell what it is. Messages for Aries. Okay, that was a lot that just came out. Let's see first. Actually, this is actually, yeah. Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get that more in the frame a little bit. Oh, these cards are gorgeous. They're a little bit different though. Like I need to remember what everything is. Because the suits are different. Okay, there we go. Okay. So stones are pentacles, mirrors are cups, spirals are wands, and scrolls are swords. Wow, that's kind of different. Spirals, okay. So this is 8 of swords then. 5 of cups. Star, 9 of wands. Wow, okay, that's really different. It's pretty like the original deck. This is way different than the original deck though. Kind of 5 of wands. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to read this as it would be if just based off the card meanings, like what they would normally mean as what they're supposed to be in the regular deck, in the regular Rider-Waite-Smith type deck. And then I can add any like intuitive things I'm noticing to like read it that way as well. Because the book would probably give a lot, but I don't want to do a reading where I'm just reading the book. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to go at this intuitively first. So 8 of swords. Wow, okay, that's, oh my gosh. I might just read this intuitively. This is crazy. I mean, they're beautiful cards. What's funny about this card is it's 5 of mirrors, so, you know, 5 of cups, and that can be a grief situation or where you're looking at one thing and not looking at the whole picture, basically. But it can also be a situation, well, not, it can also be, sorry. But mirrors generally, like, if you're encased in a mirror, it's like a fun house. Not meaning it's fun, it's just, you know, it's like a maze. You're not usually seeing mirrors as like a flower that's opening up for somebody that has a flower like that. And like it's really different. It's funny though, she has that and she has that. And they're both kind of like in their realm, and like she's got the sands right there and she's got that right there. So it's kind of similar on top. Excuse me. I mean, like earlier, or actually that was a different reading, but the star is, you know, a card of hope, of following your instincts and following not just your instincts, but your good omens that remind you of what you've been promised or what you've been shown in the past, even through hard times. And kind of, I mean, even like the water where she's skipping on the water in the vision. It's like in a hard time, just following, knowing like there's better for her. So
So it's like, I feel like both of these are like saying like, this is birthing, this is being birthed. Like this one's a manifesting, and this one's literally like, oh, well, she's part of what's being birthed. And it's like all being birthed, but she's part of it, but then she's holding something else that's like another depiction of it. So it's like one upon the other upon the other. Like it's almost like it's hard to explain. It's like a holographic theory thing, but it's kind of different. It's interesting how these are scrolls and everything, but it's almost like looks like insects right here. Like it looks alive, and she's looking up at it. And I know normally Eight of Swords is, you know, being trapped in a situation, a mental thing where you feel like, you know, you're trapped, but technically it's all a mental thing, because really you're not really trapped, and it's a matter of looking beyond that to come out of the intellectual back and forth in your head to where you can actually see that you're not actually trapped. And that's kind of like this, like these scrolls are so alive, but I feel like it's taking it to a different direction. It's like, no, she wants to make it alive. So it's as if the Eight of Swords was like, the swords themselves was a good thing, and like the more she believes in it, the more she focuses on it, the more alive it becomes. So it's really like a manifesting card. It's so weird how they literally took that card in to make it like a manifesting card. But again, yeah, it's manifesting, and then following the good omens, following the truths, the things you've been shown, and bringing it forth, bringing life. And then this, I mean, normally is a keep pushing. You're almost there. Nine of Swords. Not swords, Nine of Wands. And, I mean, I don't really see that with this card, per se, with the design. But it still goes with what we've been saying what I've been saying with the vision and the visions in the other reading part. Is literally like, as much as you might think you're going to drown, or you might think in one way this or that, just keep pushing, you're almost there. This also feels the manifesting element here too, though, where it's like they kind of flipped it again, and it's like all these hardships that look like they're almost a bad thing, like in the actual Rider-Waite-Smith version. And this, it looks like it's like, okay, you're about to manifest this. Like it's almost here. It's just wind right now, but that wind will cause this, we'll do this, we'll do this. Like the birds are flying, noticing it, and it starts like going through into different realms, and affecting different residents from different realms, if that makes sense. Like energetically, like it's like the butterfly wings, you know, butterfly wings flaps here, and then like across the globe, it can cause a tsunami, that type of thing. Where it's like one little thing you think is tiny here can go and go and go and go and become this huge thing. And this is saying like this is all happening, no matter how small you think it is, no matter how pointless you think what you're doing can be. Like literally she's just going like this, but really because everything was going so fast in the vision, she was really like this because so much moved past. So she was getting so much I mean, it's not even like she was getting so much distance, but the distance was on the water itself. So she didn't get closer. She got closer to the shore. She got to the shore. But she also was able to feel the joy of the stepping each time. So sometimes things might take a really long time for you to accomplish, or for things to come to fruition, and a project you're working on or something like that. But a lot of times it might be because you need those baby steps of not baby steps, but you need those moments, those aha moments of, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm at the right path. Oh my gosh, this is working. You might need a lot of those. So that might be why it's taking a lot of time to do something, possibly. It might not be. I mean, that might not be for everyone, what I just said. But for some of you, that might be the case. Eight of Mirrors, moving on beyond something, or not beyond something, but, a situation that maybe seems like it hasn't worked or it wasn't working, basically turning away from that. And they kind of kept it like that. I mean, it's interesting because the mirrors are here, and it's like, that's really interesting because if you leave somebody, okay, like in a movie, right? I mean, that's with a dog or with an animal, but regardless, if you leave somebody, if you look back, you see the person. This is literally making it to where if he leaves, if he looks back, he just sees his reflection in the mirrors, which is kind of weird. It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that card for the actual regular interpretation, but it's a different concept. But I mean, and that can be how you are in your stuff, what you're dealing with too, where you might be in hard places or difficult avenues and things you're trying to make and grow and manifest. And you might just keep looking back, and because you've put yourself in everything you're doing and you've grown and you've put seeds everywhere, you just look back and all you do is see stuff you've done. You're like, okay, well, why hasn't it grown yet? Where is this? Like, what is happening? So you might be really looking back, and instead of seeing like, okay, this is what I'm leaving behind and now I'm going to greener pastures, you might literally look back and just get kind of like, be tempted to get, not discerned, but be tempted to get discouraged because you just look back and just see all the work you've done and you're like, oh my God, this is so much work. Like, what am I doing? Five of Spirals, Five of Wands. Usually it's like a war, not war, but like a battle of the wits, kind of. Not so much wits, but sparring, energetic sparring back and forth, and sometimes creative, putting things out there. Let's see if this works. Let me see this idea. And different people, might be putting out ideas and trying different things. And if you're doing something alone, you might be trying different things in the project and be like, okay, is this going to work? Is that going to work? Like, what can I do? What ideas do I have to get this going? Now, in this case, I don't know what I think of this. It feels weird to me because I feel like the dragon, is supposed to be able to spit out fire, but the fire that he's spitting out literally just looks like balls of fire, and it looks like an accident or a mistake to me. And then there's like these other things that look like bombs or like something else or jellyfish, and I don't know. I'm too weirded out by that card. But oh, interesting. There's this right here in his wing. That's crazy. Well, with the storyteller is not the storyteller. The hermit normally is, taking a moment, being able to step back, letting yourself step back and looking at the past and where you want to go and devising a plan of action, but also taking some rest in that, resting and changing your pattern, not pattern, but your manner of getting where you were getting. So if you were moving, you stop and you kind of take shelter, or you symbolically take shelter and you just start assessing the situation. With this, she's like offering, so it's and it's saying storyteller. So instead of just, and basically what it's saying is a hermit is like manifesting, because if she's a storyteller, then she's putting out everything that's in her brain, that is in her mind, her dreams, her aspirations, and she's putting it forward and she's making it manifest. That's kind of what this is showing as, which technically the hermit can do, because when you go into that place, what comes after that is better than had you not taken that time for yourself, had you not taken that time to assess the situation. So in a way, that is what happens with the hermit, but this is really focusing on the manifesting. This deck is really crazy. Like I said, this is the first time I'm working with this one, but it's really It's taking pretty much all the cards from what I'm seeing and turning it into a manifesting situation, which, considering the reading is cool, it works with what, you know, you got. But now that we know this, I'm trying to look back at this and get an idea of where this is, what this is saying. I mean, it's little baby steps. It's like you might think that he can like breathe this giant fire, and he should be able to, but right now he's doing these. And ultimately, if you put them together, it's still the same fire. So it might be looking like poop, 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 or you know, but ultimately it's still movement. So I think that's really what that's saying, is you need to be okay with that sparring, not sparring, but sparring, like creative, throwing out ideas, and be okay with this phase you're in, and just keep hope. And know that this is all part of the plan, part of the manifestation. It's part of allowing you to enjoy and value or learn the value of this space. Think of it that way. It's like right now, the space you're in a place where you're supposed to learn the value of operating in this way. So you are going to succeed. It is going to go forward as long as you keep hope and you keep going. But sometimes it's not, it's puttering. You know, it's not this like, you know, igniting like you're wanting. And you have to be okay with that. And you have to not be so hard on yourself, expecting that it has to always be like that. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I think this is, and in that you'll be able to get, you know, the record plays the music, like you'll get bits. And sometimes when that record's playing the music, say, you know, you're doing this, you know, with the record and it's going, spinning. Sometimes maybe the parts you step on are parts that you otherwise, had you always been standing, you know, like the record player, if it was always pushed down, you otherwise might have like taken for granted or didn't notice. So sometimes these parts where you're noticing the aha moments are to help you start to notice and realize things that you otherwise would have missed. And in that sense, it might be a blessing itself. It's showing you, you know, stop and smell the roses. Or if you're forced to smell the roses by how slow things are going, just think there's something great about those roses. Or you need those roses in your life, you know? Yeah, I hope that helped and found you. Hope if it doesn't find you now or whatever, that tomorrow, next week, whatever you're supposed to be hearing in that, whatever you're supposed to be receiving in that, is exactly what you get. Nothing more and nothing less. At least not from this. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Oh yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, of course. Down below, you know what to do.